Delighted to be joined by Maxi, back in the UK, mate. How are you?
I'm alright, mate, yeah, good spirits. Still struggling a little bit with jet lag, sleep's a bit all over, but that is what it is, a small price to pay.
I know you mentioned off camera the other day that you were back in the gym. What's it been like getting back in the gym? Did you want to just get back in straight away and kind of get back to reality, more or less?
Yeah, so obviously spending that week in Vegas after helped me mentally decompress and sort of get over the fight. I still have the daily battles just internally to myself. I don't talk about it, it's just something I've got to deal with myself. Every fighter who's took them losses, it's just part of it, you keep thinking about it. But overall I'm sort of over it, and I'm moving on, and I'm keen to just get back. The rest did me good in Vegas. I've got no injuries. Obviously all bruises went pretty quick, so I'm feeling good. So I want to, obviously it's early in the year as well, and I know my promoter Lou is keen to get the comeback started. So yeah, that's why I want to get in gym. I'd like another 2 fights this year. Now it's early enough, I'm feeling good, so I'm still fit from fight, so I want to maintain it. And also, when is it now? So 3 weeks this weekend I'm doing London Marathon, so I've got to keep fit. And once I've done it, I need to go out for my run.
Just touching on, I just wanted to quickly touch on when you were in Las Vegas. I know that everything that happened before that you spoke about, we'll touch on it briefly. But did you get a chance to kind of soak everything up on fight week, see your face on the billboards? Did you get a chance to, or was it kind of dampened by everything that happened around it?
Yeah, I sort of got over it after landing there late on Monday night, sleep, and yeah, because we were on the Strip. First time I've been Vegas, but it's easy access to the Strip, and I didn't go too much before the fight. I wanted to make sure I stayed focused. But like we're the Cosmopolitan, it's pretty much smack bang in middle of the Strip. Not far from MGM and all that. So, and then the big fight poster were on them. It was on a couple of I had to do some medicals on the Tuesday. So the Golden Boy team were obviously transporting us all around. We went within an half an hour radius to these medical facilities. And just driving up motorway, that's where I first spotted it, just on a billboard on motorway, and I'm like, oh fucking hell, my thing is there, fight poster's there. I'd met it up in Vegas, and then the Golden Boy team says, Friday and Saturday, you'll be on the main Strip. I'm like, wow. And then I remember me and my missus, what day were it? It was Friday night after weigh-in. We'd been out for an Italian to fuel up on carbs and that, and we were walking back to the hotel, and the big fucking sign outside, it was there, like flashed up, fight post. I'm like, we're there. Tried to get phones out to capture it, and it had changed, and then we literally stood at bottom of poster for about 15 minutes waiting for cycle to come back around, and I think it did come back round, but because it was night time and it was so bright, you just couldn't see it on thingy, so we never got a picture of it. But luckily the mates who had gone over, they captured it in day and they got it perfect, so we got that evidence. So like me saying, yeah, I were up in Vegas, but with no proof, but my mates did get the proof. And then it were the week after there that we really got to enjoy the moments. Obviously the food in America is unbelievable. I absolutely ate like a pig. But yeah, we got to enjoy that. We hired a car, went to Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, back onto the Strip and all around. So that week I got to enjoy it. I got to scope out a couple of little bits before the fight, and hear like a lot of people were like, oh, go try that. So once the fight were done, made sure we did that.
Just on to the night, I know that the Cosmopolitan? I don't know how to say it. It's quite small and nimble, but you could hear on the TV when I was watching that you brought a lot of people then. Well, they made themselves quite well heard. What was the atmosphere like as you walked out?
Fantastic, and it's like my lot, the noise that they made fueled the Mexicans. I think normally in Vegas when it's a fight like that, it's pretty just humble and respectful crowd, just gentle cheers, but obviously what our lot are like, they're into it, go on then. And it made me so proud at the weigh-in the second weigh-in, the ceremonial weigh-in, I'd seen a couple of my lot, and they'd been up 2 days. They had no voices. They were hungover. They were struggling. So I didn't expect, they were there. I just glad they were there just to see me and be there. But then it's like their adrenaline kicked up when it were all dead silent, and one of my mates, Kip, he was just dead silent. Nothing had started yet. He went, "Go on then, Maxi." And the fact that everybody heard that, boom, they all came to life. And I remember hearing it and looking over at Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, and they obviously probably wouldn't have expected it in a room like that. And all my heart just absolutely erupted. And Oscar, like, they were like, and then they started laughing. They were like, "This is unreal. We didn't expect this." And Lou DiBella come over. He went, "That is some phenomenal support," to say how hungover they all were. And then obviously getting on the scales, my interview, the noise were unbelievable. And it was same fight night, and it makes me so proud to be where we're from and the support that I received. The fact that they spent their hard-earned money to come over and support me and make that much noise, it made me feel like I were at home. And that like almost pissed the Mexicans off, and they were like trying to argue with him and that, and that just made my lot even noisier. So we're a good atmosphere, nice little enclosed space, beautiful room, great venue. And yeah, it was just the noise were brilliant.
I know that, like you said, 50. I know you mentioned off camera about 50 kind of came over and spent. Because we know how expensive it is to go to Las Vegas. Does it give you a bit of like an urge to maybe come home and have a big, like, not a homecoming necessarily, but a fight in front of your home crowd where more people can come?
Yeah, I'd love, before I retire, I will definitely have one more back at home in front of everyone, as a farewell to everyone, so everyone can come and enjoy it. But I think especially the core group, like that 50 or so comes over, they were all in Oklahoma, and they've said it's some of the best holidays, trips that they've had. Obviously, aside from the results of my fights, they all message saying thanks for memories again. A part of me, I said to him the other day in group message, says, when are you gonna fight? Because these trips that you go on, they have a proper itinerary. There were 2 of them rented a Lamborghini for a day. They rent muscle cars and they're doing donuts in these car parks. I'm like, this looks brilliant. What a time there. And they keep sending me videos of what they're doing. I'm like, just looks mega. Like Rob, another guy, he's got a microphone in this taxi and he's singing 50 Cent Window Shopper, and taxi's just letting him do what he wants. And it just looks brilliant. The memories that I've give them, they're like, thanks for memories. So I think they'd like, I've been messaged, they're like, try and get your next fight in New York. We all want to go to New York. So tonight when I have a phone call with Lou, I'm going to say, can you get us on in New York?
Touching on the fight briefly, Maxi, I just want to kind of hear your thoughts on, I know it wasn't the way you wanted it to go, but what was it like kind of being in with William Zepeda? Was he kind of as you expected, or was he a little bit more?
Yeah, it were everything we expected, and I can hold my hands up and say I will beat by a better man at night. That's what boxing is. Top level, you're separated by who can get it right on night. Training camp goes well, everything goes well, and then you get in ring, and whoever can implement their game plan and execute their game plan obviously wins. And he was able to take my best asset away from me, which is my footwork. He lumped a few in body, and it absolutely drained me. It took, in that 4th round, it took every ounce of me to not take a knee. I was going to take a knee just to have a breather. It caught me one right up middle, and it absolutely drained me. And I thought, just take a knee and have a minute. But I fought on, and I tried to keep fighting back, because the referee obviously gives his instructions in changing rooms before. He says, if your opponent seems to be getting on top of you, I'll be having a close look at you, and I need you to show me something. Either go for a walk, go for a move around, or throw something back. So really trying hard to just throw something back to try and let the ref know. And I must have done enough, because ref didn't jump in. It was my corner that pulled me out, and I respect Sean's decision. They know how good I am. They know what I can do. So the fact that I wasn't doing it, they know something were up. So yeah, I've got no complaints.
Maxi, London Marathon as well. What time are you kind of aiming for in 3 weeks' time when you do it?
So I'm going to be going for 4 hours or under. I don't know how I'm going to do. I've not done that distance before, and I've not trained for it. Although I have been fight fit, that was obviously the priority. So fight fit, you sort of fit good all round. Obviously, I've done plenty of runs and sprints for fighting, so that's a good base to start with. I've now got just over 3 weeks. I did my first run on Tuesday morning when I were up at silly o'clock with jet lag. I went out for a run. Back in gym last night, but now I am just going to focus on running training. After here, I'm going to go out for a run, and I won't do the marathon at risk of injury. If I get any niggles or out like that, I will just stop and walk or pull off to the side. It's not, I'm not willing to risk my boxing career to complete the marathon, but I would like to finish it in 4 hours or under. Just a nice tick box. I've always wanted to do a marathon, so biggest one in country is London, so looking forward to it.
I thought you were more of a sprinter when I saw your 5k time.
I am, yeah. I am a better sprinter than I am long distance runner. But I think it might come down to mindset. When a lot of people say, "Oh, you hit the wall," and it's like, I don't know what that is when they say hit the wall. Obviously, I know training gets tougher. I train very hard in boxing, and I know what that's like. And it's your mind what can power you through. Like, the mind is the most powerful muscle we've got. So if your mind can do it, your body will do what your mind tells it to. So if I can get in right mind's headspace, and I'm hoping that will just get me through that last half.
Brilliant. All the best with that. Just quickly back to the boxing. I know you spoke with Lou DiBella. Any kind of inkling on what you want to do next after that?
Well, the call's tonight, so we'll discuss, we'll see, but the plan is, I still believe I belong up there with the world's best. So it's plotting our path back to being in big fights. Lou's a very well connected guy, works with everyone, been in the game a long time, and guided other fighters back up there. Matt Macklin from the UK, he had three world title shots against the world's best, so that were under the guidance of Lou. So I'm in good hands, so we'll have this call tonight and I'll explain my ambitions and what I want to do, and I'm sure Lou can help me navigate that.
I just want to touch on what happened. I know it's all going to be on your YouTube channel. Don't forget to
like and subscribe. Maxi Hughes on YouTube.
But that whole story now, which has been nearly watched by over 10,000 people, and just sitting down personally and watching that video and watching what you went through made me realise how on earth did you take that fight.
Yeah.
Just touching on it briefly, like how did that whole situation take you out of you mentally?
I didn't realise until I actually landed in Vegas, like that full week of chasing the visa and getting appointments and travelling about, I just stayed very mentally strong and resilient. I just kept telling myself, I'm going to be alright. Anytime that the negativity or the demons crept in, like, oh, you're going to be tired, the jet lag, you're not going to be there in the right amount of days, and this and that, and I'm like, no, mentally just battling it, going, no, you're going to be alright. You're still going to beat this kid. You've trained hard, you're going to get it done. And then, that's what kept me going. And having good mates around me, with two best mates in group chat, my team, speaking with them every day, and bumping into Tony Dunlop in Belfast from the Belfast Cronk, that helped me. So a lot of people helped me get through it, as well as my own mental strength. And then, I think it obviously did have an effect. They say each hour that there's a time difference equals 1 day that you need to be there. So the clock's changed in Vegas, so Vegas is 7 hours behind, so that means ideally at least 7 days before. I were there 5 days before, so I'm a couple of days down. I don't want to sound bitter and looking for pity. I made the decision. I could have pulled out any time, and I was advised to pull out and get it postponed, but mentally I was like, no, I'm having this kid. I'm here now, I've made it this far, I've trained very hard, put a lot into training, so I'm going to be here and I'm going to get the job done. Unfortunately it didn't go my way, so it is what it is.
does it make you question whether you want to go and fight in America again?
I would go and fight there again. It was just down to one in particular Homeland Security agent who got it wrong, who had a point to prove, you know, had a bit of an ego, and if he didn't have a gun and a badge on him, I'd have laid him out. But he had a gun with 3 magazines. He were ready for World War III. So yeah, I'd love to fight in different parts of America. I'd fight in Vegas again, but I'd just make sure I approach it, making sure that all the visas are watertight. And now we know, you know, in the end I flew from Dublin, where since learnt there's a US border in Dublin, so you are going, technically when you cross that border in Dublin, you're on American soil. So in future I would go from Dublin, so it's literally a 40-minute flight from here to Dublin, get through the border patrol, and if they turn me away, then at least I'm only 40 minutes flight, not another 10 hours back, which it upset my sciatica. Got a bad sciatica when I got off that plane back, and I would obviously try and go a little bit earlier. So if there is any issues in future, I will just get the fight postponed. I won't go through trying to get there. You know, I'll learn from that and go, you know what, it's not worked. I know what it's going to be like, so let's postpone it until I know we can get into America properly and have that time there that's needed to finish training, acclimatise and be adjusted to the time difference.
Final one, Maxi. I know that you've struggled a little bit with activity, fighting probably once or twice a year. Is that something that wants to change now, like you said, like for 34 now? 34 now.
The day that I flew was my birthday.
Oh, yeah,
the day that I got deported was my birthday.
Not a great birthday then.
Yeah, so 34 now, but I feel young, I still feel good. So yeah, last year I only fought once, which were annoying. Right smack bang in the middle of the year, so there were no time either side of that to fight. But now, you know, that fight's done. I've no injuries, mentally and physically. I'm over that fight. It was still March, last day of March, or last weekend in March now. So I want to fight another 2 times this year, at least bare minimum once. But yeah, I want to be active now. You know, I'm feeling good, so I want to be active.
Brilliant. Cheers for your time, Maxi, as always, mate. Good catching up. Amazing that experience will be something that you'll probably tell your kids, your grandkids.
Chapter of my book.
Yeah, well, you got it. I think it'll be a big chapter in that book. But no, mate, all the best, and we look forward to seeing what's next for yourself, mate.
Cheers, pal.